guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a review of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Teal Mask DLC. The DLC came out a few days ago, and we're going to be going through some spoiler-free and spoiler reviews to let you guys know if you should buy the game or not and give a final score on the game. Before we start the video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel more than you can imagine, and let me know what you think of the Teal Mask in the comments down below, and I reckon we just get straight into it. Starting off with some spoiler-free reviews, just to let you know, the tags at the bottom will show if it's a spoiler or non-spoiler, so you know if you're safe or not. Design-wise, Kitakami, which is what the new region is called, looks way better than Paldea. I mean, in the sense of Paldea was really big. We've got to give them credit. Paldea was really big, but Kitakami is a little bit smaller. It's quite still big for a DLC as well, but it just feels more full and more full of life. It just feels really fun. And the design is brilliant. It's such a lovely Japanese design. I quite enjoyed playing through the game and kind of just appreciating what was around me. Like I said, the game feels more alive. It feels more fun. Like there's more to do almost, it kind of feels, because there's just so much. Like I said, it's more alive. It feels so much better. We're not just running through grass in Paldea and not having just nothing to do. It's just grass and Pokemon, maybe an odd tree. There is community around it. There is just a brilliant vibe to the whole game. It just feels more alive. It feels more fun. They did promise or highly hint towards a graphic update, and there was a graphic update to an extent. The graphics do look slightly better. The game does look slightly better, but there is still FPS issues, of course. I think the project for Paldea might have been too big because I'm still shiny hunting for on the game. There's still some pretty bad lag in Paldea. It seems a little bit better in Kitakami in my personal experience. It could be different for yours, but I feel like the graphics look a bit better, but the FPS issues are definitely still there and definitely still should be fixed, hopefully for the next game coming up. Like I said, the new region was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it, but also it felt quite big. Obviously, with a DLC, going back to maybe the Isle of Armor with the island, you kind of think to yourself, oh, you know, it wasn't that big, it was quite small. But Kitakami was quite big. I would probably say it was apparently 25% of Paldea, but it feels a little bit bigger than that. It's quite a full region, it's quite big, there's more to do, and I'm really impressed with the fact that, especially for a DLC, they've released a pretty big region. I'm still quite surprised that they released a whole new region anyways. I thought, like most people thought, especially when it was a hidden treasure of Area Zero, that they would be going into Area Zero, or maybe, obviously we go into it already, but kind of like go into more of, like, maybe there was something underneath it, something along those lines. They released a new region, and it is quite nice. On to some spoiler-free negatives, because to be fair, the last few have been quite positive. Some negatives are that there's only 102 returning Pokemon returning to the game, and the ones aren't that great. So you had some decent ones, but I wasn't too impressed. There wasn't personally, obviously it comes down to opinion on what you think your favorite Pokemon are, but there wasn't any like fantastic Pokemon going return. It was just bog standard Pokemon like Noctowl, I'm pretty sure was in the game, getting returns, and you kind of just you kind of bit it off, you don't really care. And the loyal three, Okidogi, Pheasantampity, and something, I don't care enough to know their names. I still don't like them after playing the game and before playing the game. Playing the game, they were a little bit more likable because their designs moved, they're more alive, obviously, compared to drawing. But ultimately, I'm still not impressed by them. I didn't particularly still enjoy playing the game and seeing them. They're still not my favorite. I'm still not impressed by them. Moving on over to some spoilers now. I'm going to get stuck right in with the story. The story is quite unfortunately short. And when I say that, I mean, it took me 4.5 hours to get through the story. I think that is just because I was kind of going back and checking up on the story, kind of like appreciating the people around me, appreciating the setting. But I think if you were focused solely on the story, you would probably get it done in about 3, maybe 3.5, depends on how good you are at Pokemon games. Which isn't a terrible thing. It is still only the first half of the DLC. It's kind of like if, say now, it's £30 I paid for it, I would say it's probably worth maybe £10, and then hopefully Indigo Plateau will be worth £20. It's kind of like that sort of sense. It's not going to be the bigger DLC out of the two, most certainly. I'm hoping that this means that the Indigo Plateau is going to be fantastically massive, and we can, just have such a good new story. But this one was only 3 hours, 3.5, depends on how you look at it. It might be good for you. You might like a shorter story. The story was pretty good, actually. Might be pretty good for you. Who knows? Apart from me personally, I want a little bit more content, but oh well. Moving on over to the bombshell that they dropped in it as well, that the Blueberry Academy is in Unova, which is good and bad. It's good because it's a really cool little storyline which we could be exploring in the Indigo Plateau, but also at the same time it's bad because we've had hinting towards Unova for ages now, and everyone's thought we're going to be getting a new game. But maybe it's looking like it's going to be part of the DLC. We'll just be exploring Unova, which I'm not too happy about if that's the only thing we're getting, because I want these Unova games. I want these new games. Hopefully it's just a little bit of a taste to see how the community reacts to Unova. But then at the same time, they would already be making the Unova games if it was, so who knows. But hopefully that's not the only reason that we've had hints towards Unova. Hopefully we're slowly getting Unova games, but the fact that the Blueberry Academy is in Unova, if we take away the games out of it, I still think that's a really cool aspect that they've done, and maybe we could be visiting Unova in the Indigo Plateau, if it's in a small scale or a massive scale. Hopefully we get Unova new games, and hopefully the Unova aspect of Blueberry Academy will end up good. Finishing off with, was the story good or not? Yes, it was, I won't lie to you, and there was a massive twist at the end, which I feel really stupid that I didn't catch on to, because apparently a lot of people online were catching on to it very easily. It was that the Loyal Three were in fact not loyal at all. They are bad guys. I guess they're loyal to each other. But anyways, so yeah, the bad guys, like I wasn't expecting this at all, because normally when you have, for example, in this case, obviously they were introduced, you kind of think to yourself, oh, these are the good guys, these are the legendary Pokemon, obviously not legendary Pokemon, but like, in that sense, like they are the story folk around it, how they're going to become really good and save the world. The opposite, they were the bad guys, and it was nothing more captured that better that when you see them beat up innocent Pokemon, and not just for any old reason, just for fun, because why wouldn't you just beat up innocent Pokemon for fun? It was quite a dark twist by Game Freak, and I'm not too mad at it personally. I thought it was quite a cool little avenue that they went down. I thought it was something that they haven't done before, so I'm completely fine with it. I quite enjoyed it, not in like a sadistic way. I thought it was just a cool different twist to the game. So I was really happy with that, in the sense that they're the bad guys. I don't like them. I've already said this. I don't like them. So the fact that they're the bad guys makes me feel even better, because I never liked them. Maybe the big Pokemon, Pheasantity or whatever his name is, I quite don't mind the design on that one, but the other two I don't like at all, especially when it comes to the design, and I just don't like them. But finishing off now, what will be my final rating of the game, I'm going to be giving it a 7 out of 10, which I think is a very respectable score, especially the fact that it's not meant to be the big DLC. Hopefully the Indigo Plateau could be an 8, 9 out of 10, or hopefully if it's perfect it could be a 10 out of 10. I doubt it will be, but 7 out of 10 for the Teal Mask, which is a lot higher than I thought it was going to get. I thought it was going to get like a 4, so I'm quite happy with the game. Let me know, did you like the game in the comments down below? Like and subscribe, like I said, it really helps out more than you can imagine, and goodbye.